Welcome back to the Silicon Valley to Spirituality Show, the space where modern ambition meets soul truth, and we learn how to integrate spiritual wisdom into our everyday lives. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a topic that so many people struggle with. And if your mind ever feels like a browser with 34 tabs open, 3 frozen, and you don't even know where the music is coming from, well, you are not alone. Overthinking can show up in our relationships, our careers, our creativity, and even on our spiritual path. It's the illusion of control trying to keep us safe, but often it just keeps us stuck. So in today's episode, we're answering the toughest questions from listeners all around the world, and we'll be channeling guidance from the wisdom of the Spiritual Council of Light, who remind us again and again that everything is always working out for your highest good, even when your mind tries to convince you otherwise. Let's get started. All right, so question 1 comes from Daniel in Austin, Texas. And Daniel writes, I'm constantly overthinking my career path and comparing myself to others. It makes me feel like I am behind. Well, number one, this is very, very common for everyone to think and feel this way no matter where you are in your career. So what you want to do is understand that you are on your perfect path and it's unfolding at your soul's pace. So there is no such thing as being behind in a universe that only moves in divine timing. Every moment of your journey, it's designed to prepare you for what you've asked for. The delays, the detours, even the doubt, it all refines you. Your path is not linear. It's a spiral that keeps returning you to your truth. Okay, so remember, your path isn't linear. It's a spiral that keeps returning you to your truth. All right, number 2 is comparison is a distortion of your divine uniqueness. Okay, so what I mean is you are incomparable. Your soul didn't come here to be a copy of someone else, but to bring something entirely new. The moment you compare, you disconnect you from your own brilliance. Okay, and you can reconnect by asking, what makes me feel most alive today? All right, so just ask yourself, what makes me feel most alive? And this will reconnect you with your own brilliance. Number 3 is think about every twist is a divine setup, not a delay, okay? Your soul never wastes an experience. What seems like stagnation is often sacred preparation. The discomfort you are feeling, it's not a punishment. It's a nudge into deeper purpose. Let yourself receive the hidden wisdom in where you are, all right? So let yourself receive the hidden wisdom where you are. Number 4 is return to your inner knowing. What excites your soul today? You don't have to have your 5-year plan figured out. Your soul only ever speaks in the present moment. So follow what feels expansive right here in the now moment. And that will be your internal GPS, your internal compass. And lastly, trust, okay? You cannot miss what is truly yours. And what's for you is already energetically aligned. No opportunity, no love, no purpose can escape a soul in trust. So let go of chasing and start magnetizing. It is already on the way. All right, let's get into the next question. And this is from Fatima from Morocco. And Fatima writes, I replay every conversation I have, worried I upset someone or said the wrong thing. Okay, so this is also quite common, Fatima. And number 1 is overthinking is fear disguised as responsibility. Okay, your heart is loving and you could care about others, but replaying the moments over and over is not helping them or you. The mental loop is the ego trying to protect you from judgment, but your soul isn't here to be perfect, only to be present. So trust that love, not perfection, is what truly connects. Okay, next is you are not here to manage other people's emotions, only your own energy. So letting go of the over-responsibility is a sacred act of freedom. You cannot control how others interpret your words, but you can choose your intention. And if it came from love, that is enough. Breathe, release, and realign. And as a recovering people pleaser, I totally know this. I always want to make people feel good, but that often came at the expense of how I felt. And I would just think myself into anxiety and stress thinking about how they felt or how they were doing. All right, so next is choose self-trust over self-doubt. okay? I showed up in love, and that is enough. So make this your mantra when doubt creeps in. I showed up in love, and that is enough. I showed up in love, and that is enough. And when you lead with your heart, you don't need to justify or defend. Your worth is not up for debate. Root yourself in the knowing that your love is more powerful than your mistakes. All right. The next pro tip is releasing control opens the door to freedom and authenticity. So what I mean by that is when you stop trying to curate how others feel, you create space for real connection. True authenticity is magnetic. Let people meet the real you, not the edited version, and the ones meant for you will see you clearly. And my last tip is let your soul lead, not your fear of being misunderstood. Okay, so every time you choose soul over fear, you expand. Some will misunderstand, but your journey is not to be universally approved. It is to be divinely aligned. Be willing to be seen in your light, and that is where freedom lives. Okay, Fatima, I hope that was helpful, and let's move into the next question. All right, next question is Kenji from Osaka, Japan. I have analysis paralysis about every decision. I'm scared of making the wrong move, right? So analysis paralysis, that is definitely overthinking at its worst. And so here are a couple of tips. So number one is, Kenji, there are no wrong decisions, only different paths to your expansion, all right? So every decision you make is an opportunity to evolve. You cannot make a wrong move when your intention is to grow and align with your highest self. Even when detours are divine, trust that every path eventually leads back to you. The next tip is clarity comes through movement, not mental loops. And what I mean by that is waiting for the perfect plan is the trick of the ego. Action reveals the path, not overanalyzing it. So the more you take action, the more aligned you become, and let the inspired action be your guide. Tip number 3, your soul speaks in feelings of joy, ease, and expansion. So if a choice feels heavy, it's not coming from your soul. If it feels light, exciting, or deeply true, then that is divine guidance. So learn to feel your way forward instead of thinking your way in circles. Your body is a natural tuning fork. All right. Tip number 4, align first and then act, not the other way around. So I know that we're saying action leads to getting out of these mental loops, but you want to align first. So take time to connect with your inner being before taking action or deciding. And a few moments of stillness, like some deep breaths, can clear hours of mental fog. So let your energy decide before your mind jumps in, and alignment leads to effortless, inspired action. And the last tip is trust the universe to course correct you with grace. All right, even if you make a move that's not ideal, life will gently guide you back. You are not alone in your decisions. The universe is always adjusting the path to match your energy. So be bold and know that support surrounds you. All right. So we're going to get into one bonus question. This is from Zara in Dubai. Zara writes, I'm exhausted from overthinking how others perceive me. It's like I'm never good enough. All right. So very, very common, just like all the previous questions. So number 1 is others only see you through their lens, not truth. All right. So others only see you through their lens and not the truth. And you cannot control someone else's filter, wounds, or projections. How they perceive you says more about their state of consciousness than your own worth. So releasing the need to be understood sets you free. And being seen by your own eyes is what is most important, okay? So be seen by your own eyes first and release the need to be understood by others. And that is what will set you free. Tip number 2 is when you live from approval, you deny your divine self. So chasing validation, it distorts your light. Your authenticity is sacred and doesn't require applause. Approval becomes a cage, but acceptance is liberation. And the only true freedom is being yourself without any apologies, okay? Tip number 3 is your soul craves freedom, not perfection. Remember that. You didn't come here to please everyone. You came here to shine. And seeking to be flawless only dims your joy. Your essence is already magnetic when it is unfiltered. So give yourself permission to be real. All right. Tip number 4 is ask, what would I do if I no longer needed to be liked? All right. This is a really powerful question. What would I do if I no longer needed to be liked? And this question unlocks your power. It helps you see how many of your actions are driven by fear instead of love. So redirect your energy toward what feels soul aligned and not socially approved. All right. So redirect your energy toward what feels soul aligned, not socially approved. And that's how you reclaim your sovereignty. And then the last one is affirm. I am here to be authentic, not approved. I am here to be authentic and not approved. Repeat this until it becomes your truth. Your purpose is way too important to shrink it for comfort. The world doesn't need more perfection. It needs your real presence, and let your truth lead. All right, everyone. So that is all the questions for today. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. And now exhale. I want you to remember, you are not behind, you are not broken, you are not too much, and you are never not enough. You are exactly where you are meant to be, and your overthinking, it's not a flaw. It's simply your mind trying to do what only your soul can. But when you tune into presence, into peace, into the knowing that you are loved, guided, and supported, clarity flows. Okay. But when you tune into presence, into peace, into the knowing that you are loved, guided, and supported always, clarity begins to flow, confidence rises, and your next step reveals itself. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being you. And if this episode spoke to your soul, please take a moment to like, share, or comment, and tag a friend who needs to hear this message today. And if you'd like your question answered in a future episode, just send your questions to Sabo@SaboKnows. Until next time, trust your light, trust your journey, and trust the universe always has your back.